those off days where your body's just like weak from it, you know. But like every day, like working out, this shit feels good. Definitely feels good.
What's going on, y'all? This is 28 Podcast, and y'all recognize my homie Gothwood from the last podcast. Gothwood, what have we been on since the last time we talked, bro? Right here on the camera.
Shows, studio time, projects, genre changes, zoning in on our sound, and the list goes on and on and on. I swear, like, feel like every time I talk to him, we're always doing something that like just completely threw the last thing out of water. Like, all right, well, how can I do better? It's not really about like I've been seeing this a lot lately. Like I've always had a sense of like knowing where it's like it's never been about the destination. It's about the journey. But it's like you got to think about that from like a real in-depth perspective. You have to have like a sense of depth of where you want to be, but don't focus on where you want to be so much as focus on the little things and like the little steps that it'll take to get there. Like take all those little things that you're doing, like get the most out of those instead of focusing on getting the most out of being in front of, you know, like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you can't be in front of 10,000 people until you've learned to perform in front of 10 people. You know, it's like sometimes I even struggle with that when it comes to like the crowd and stuff. But like anyway, that's what I mean by one on top of the other, you know, just keep doing better and better. And that's how it should be, especially with people on our age. That's something you really don't find, you know. So it's like a beautiful thing when you got like two people who want to actually like be more than just the average person and go to those lengths. Like have the people who say they want to do music on the internet, they make one song and it's like, all right, that's good enough for me. Like, it ain't good enough, bro. Like, you want to make, you know, you ain't going to get rich off of doing shit one time. You know, it's like you gotta be like we were talking about right before we hit record. It's like consistency is everything. Yeah. It's okay to have those off times where you're tired and shit, but you always gotta pick back up and be consistent. Cause like it's like that one little track's not gonna do anything. You know, it's like yeah, it can be good, but if it's good, how are you gonna maintain the income that you're so focused on getting from or out of it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So, bro, are you trying to talk like business side of what you've been on, or should we just talk like, should we pick up from like, I don't remember what month we met up in, but it was like April maybe, no?
Maybe April, like mid-April, like early May.
April, May-ish. We hadn't done the Beecher show yet. We hadn't.
Yeah, because it was right after the Misfits were formed. Yeah, R.I.P. Misfits. Fuck that shit. I ain't gonna say nothing. But, yeah, it was like end of April, like early May. It was still like springtime. Still kind of needed a hoodie to be outside.
Yeah, it was still chilly outside.
Yeah, it was still chilly for sure. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things we could talk about right now. We could talk about like progress within like business, within the like doing shows and like studio time and like, you know, all that stuff. We could talk about life. We could still talk about like mental and spirituality. Like how you feeling, bro?
I mean, I don't want to make the podcast about me, bro, but my side has been like, since the last time that you and I talked, bro, fucking everything has changed. I mean, not a lot has changed for me, bro, personally. Like, the relationship status changed, music changed, fucking, I kind of been in my own world, bro. I'm dealing with my own problems, too.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's all been beautiful, bro. Even, like, I was looking earlier about, I was watching our podcast from last time, and talk about those sad moments that you have where you're thinking about shit, but like we're thinking about it for a reason, and like what are we supposed to get out of it, and like no matter what the pain that we feel, like it's still beautiful, bro, you know. And that's kind of where I've been going with my music. And I mean, like I said, I don't want to make this shit about myself, bro.
Nah, it's cool, bro. I mean, I feel like that's what makes this podcast a little bit different. It's not necessarily about the one person that's being interviewed, more or less, but I feel like it's about like the energy that's exchanged between you and that artist.
For sure.
You feel me? So it's like the conversation, like, yeah, talk about what you're on, bro. It's your podcast, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like this dude's baked as fuck already. Like,
I'm not baked.
No, I'm messing. But I mean, shit. I mean, I feel you though, man. Like, I've been in like the same kind of like mental space, if that makes sense. Like,
The same space that you were in before,
No.
or the same space as I am. Is that what you're saying, or like?
In the same mental space that you are. It's not exactly the same situation. When I first met you, I didn't want to be in a relationship. Now I feel like things have definitely changed. But at the same time, my whole perspective of music is kind of like zoned in on a specific sound. And you find like what works for you. It's kind of like you with your R&B tracks that you've been snipping in around me.
Yeah, bro.
Like
And
that.
I kind of blended it. I took like my casino sound, bro, and I didn't like think about casino at all, bro. Like, so that was kind of what I was thinking my core sound was gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the breakup happened, I was like, yo, this like brings out a whole side of me that I haven't shown to myself, to fucking people that listen to my music. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And then I realized like how much freedom it gave me. Like, it's one thing to now be single after a long ass relationship, but then also to be making music and like, damn, I can make music about this. I could fucking express how I feel about somebody that I saw somewhere, and nobody's gonna be like, what the fuck? Who's this bitch you're talking about? I'm like, you know, so I guess I'll take this moment to fucking talk about the project that I'm dropping. It's called Angels. Okay,
You have to.
It's called Angels.
You
and
have to, bro.
fucking so the very first song is a breakup song, bro, and basically what I'm saying, all I'm really saying is I wish you well, you know, and but then the very next song, and then after that, it's like fucking a switch has flipped, like now I'm bringing out this side of me, like I don't have to suppress my fucking playerness.
It's like I don't have to watch what I say when I feel like talking about the shit I'm doing. You know, it's like no. I feel like this is a real Wolf on Wall Street moment right here. Like,
Oh yeah. I guess you could put it that way, bro. But what it is, bro, like the songs are not necessarily like sad or nothing, but they're emotional, and the beats they only make it sad because of the style of beats that I picked. And most people that would make music with those beats would make sad songs, but I didn't, bro. I made songs that are like, I don't know. To me they're like.
I ain't gonna say too much, y'all, but all I'm gonna say is, the last show I went to that he hosted, what was that? Culture Jam 5.
I think it was 4 or 5. I don't remember.
It was 4 or 5, right? This is your keyword right here, champagne.
Oh my god, champagne, bro. That literally set the vibe for the project, bro.
Champagne,
I'll tell you that.
bro.
Because what I was doing, bro, after that, I was so focused. I'd go to work, come home, eat, do whatever I gotta do at the crib, go to the gym. Then it's at night, and then what? I started sipping, put some beats. I just started making music that I hadn't touched before. So like it was fun, bro. It was a vibe. And then after been working for a while, we go to a club or something.
You're like strip club. He said we on that P&D vibe. Touch it and go to the strip club. Oh, bro. Thank you, sir.
But that's kind of what Angels is gonna be, bro. But what I was saying is their songs aren't sad. They're like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. They feel good though.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah, dude. Keyword champagne.
Bro, I think the music that you've been dropping, like you said, you're going for a certain sound. I noticed that while I was listening to the shit that you dropped on the way here, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
You know where it started for me? Fuck, I don't remember the name of the song. meant to be.
Oh,
When I heard that song,
yeah.
I was like, yo, this shit is the shit, bro. And then he started dropping songs that, like, they're not exactly the same, but they kind of, I can hear, like,
The same energy goes into
yeah.
Like, dude, he's talking about my song "Meant to Be" featuring Wishes. We just dropped that, dude. I love that song so much because that studio session, I had a panic attack. We were in Studio C at Envion, and I had a panic attack. I had to step outside, bro, and we had like 30 minutes left. I wasn't feeling any of the music I was making that night, and I was like, all right, put on some beats, Wishes, like, cause I was putting on other beats. If y'all don't know, I still produce, by the way. I produced a couple of Wishes songs. If you guys want to go check it out, I believe they're both on Wishes page and Fruits and Flowers. You can check some of those songs out. But it was like 30 minutes left, and I was like, meant to be, like, it felt, bro, cause like a lot of shit was going through my head, bro, and like just a lot of transitioning lately, and it's like I feel like the people who are most spiritually connected go through the same similar spiritual change around the same time. You feel me? Like it happens that way, you know. And like when you start to ascend more and you start to become more aware of that transition, you start looking at struggles and stuff like, okay, how can I solve this, or what's gonna be the way that I learn the most out of this, and what is the lesson that I'm learning from this? You know, like you really have to get into like what I call a me state, because I overthink everything, bro. Like every single thing that crosses my head, bro, I guarantee you, I overthink it. Like everything. It's a blessing and a curse sometimes, but it provides a sense of clarity almost, because when you overthink things, you go into both the good and the bad. Like like for me personally, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I'd be thinking of like the worst of the worst outcomes, and like the best outcomes that feel the most comfortable to me. You know what I'm saying? Like not in a sense of like risk taking, but like situation wise, it's like, okay, like if this turns out this way, you know, is this, you know, like I feel comfortable with the way that my mind's portraying it, how I feel about it. Like it just kind of, my heart and my brain know, even though they don't get along the best sometimes, but they know what I want. So like I end up seeing what I want when I overthink it. But at the same time, you also have to see all the bad first in order to see that good. You know, say like there's someone that you wanted to date, right? And that you know, y'all been cool, whatever, right? You start progressing with things. You feel your energy's changing. You're becoming more confident in yourself. You feel like there's a lot of things that you can almost manifest into existence, and that is possible. And that's what's beautiful about it. But in order to manifest those things, you have to be able to focus on the outcome that you want the most. By doing that, once again, I said you have to think about the bad situations before you could think about the good situations that will come out of making a certain decision. Like say you wanted that chick, right? Well, you know, you can move forward with it. You can kind of push things here and there and see how she's feeling about it. But before you make either of those decisions, you have to understand, you have to think about what her reaction is going to be like, what my reaction to her reaction is going to be like, how am I going to react to the words that I'm saying, and am I going to agree with myself as I'm sending a text or as I'm speaking those words to that person in their face. No, vice versa too. Exactly. You know, it's like you have to be able to think about these things. And I know people, like, they look at me, they're like, when they hear me talk about things sometimes, and it's a beautiful thing when you could talk a lot and things not necessarily will go certain places because you're intentionally planning that next move. You're always moving in a different direction and always overthinking everything. Like it's not necessarily a habit everybody should get into, but you should definitely get into the habit of like, how do I put this, like balanced thoughts. You know, think of that bad situation before you think of that good situation. That way you could truly feel comfortable, because it's like when you come back from something, it's like getting up, right? So like, say it, you know, it doesn't go the best way as possible, right? You end up falling down, you're like, whatever, right? Like it's a fallback, bro. You have to understand, you have to be able to come back from that fallback. And think about this, like look at all the times you got hurt in the past and you got up and at the end of it, like it was minimal from where you started, but getting back up from that low felt like it was so much more. It was so much more. You know, like in a saying of, like to take two steps back to take one forward. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, bro.
I think I'm too self-aware sometimes. But for real though, that's what I mean by like you just, yeah. That's what I've been on. A lot of like, there's a lot of learning behind that. It's a good habit to get into. I don't know how you look at things when you deal with like stressful situations. Like how do you like keep yourself in that mindset? Hey, you know.
I think me personally, bro, for the most part, I just be in chill mindset at all times, bro. I can't think of anything that fucking really bothers me all day besides my own shit, my own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But what do I do about it? I don't know, bro. I just do what I'm supposed to do. Do what I know I'm supposed to do, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty chill most of the day, bro. Like, I be enjoying the sun and shit.
Oh,
and
dude,
fucking,
sun gazing is the best, bro. That's the best, bro. I swear.
I really don't be worried about nothing, bro.
To be honest, he's like, I got champagne. What the fuck?
To be honest, I don't be
like,
worried about nothing.
what's there to worry about, right? Nah, bro. I feel that though. See, like, I feel like everybody's different in a sense. We might be spiritually ascending onto the same plane, bro, but like at the same time, we both got different personalities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I be overthinking stuff, so like my body tends to like lean more into the worrying direction, but I don't really like showing it to people because it's like once you show that emotion, it's like a vantage point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it comes back into it. You know,
it's a vulnerability, but it's also a strength in being vulnerable, bro. Because like I don't know, bro. It's just like that's the real you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like we're only so vulnerable and we're only so closed off. You know, like we gotta have our boundaries.
Yeah, we do. We gotta do it.
That's a message I want a lot of you young men to understand is know what your boundaries are. Know what your limits are. It's okay to take risks. It's okay to go beyond lengths that you feel, are like maybe that's a stretch. Like if you believe it in your heart, look at what we do for a living. You know what I'm saying? Like look at what we've done in the last since May, this April, May, June, July, August. It's been like 5 or 6 months since the last time, and look at how far we've come. Like, it's insane, bro. Like, I've doubled my my Instagram followers since we made the last podcast. I had like 300, bro. I'm like 700 now, bro. Like, it really shows when you believe in something. Like, who fucking cares if it's a stretch, bro? Like, you see it here, you see it here, and they both agree. Sometimes they won't during the process, but if you initially see that and be like, I can do it better, then do it better. You know, like ain't nothing stopping you. You know, we gotta be able to, like that's like the big thing that I've been really conjuring lately with my music. I always have I overthink with my music too, with the words that I say in my songs, my lyric, like everything, bro. I'm very, very, very self-conscious about that. I get very paranoid in the studio, like if certain things sound too familiar, it makes me uncomfortable, Sure. So it's like, I feel, where was I at? Damn.
You're talking about how you overthink your lyrics while you're writing them.
Yeah, like I get really like self-conscious about my lyrics in the studio, and I feel like there's a reason behind that, and I feel like the music that I'm making isn't necessarily the stuff that I should be talking about, because I'm here to help people. I said it in the last podcast too. I'm here to help people, and I'm here to be, here to be that influence and be that example for people. So like that's another part where my perspective's changing. I'm looking at my music. I'm like, is this really like helping people get out of their shit? Is this really helping people like get out of their situation? It's not gonna change my flow or how I, zone in on a specific sound.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gonna change the choice of words that I put with that song. Like you said, the song that I've been on lately. If you guys haven't listened, 127 BPM is out now on all platforms. That song, bro, wasn't supposed to happen. at all, at all. But yeah, and meant to be with wishes. That's where this started. Damn. But yeah, that's something I want to tell y'all. We want to talk about like what else we're gonna talk about. That's more or less on the mental side of things. Like how's like the business been with you lately? I know you've got a merchandise possibly dropping soon.
Well, for the business side for me, bro, I've mostly been focusing on making the project, and then what I'm gonna do after the project, and then as far as the merchandise, I also have a vision for that. I kind of want it to be like something that you can wear to the club, so like some fly shit, bro.
Hell yeah.
And I got this one T-shirt that's coming out. I don't want people to see it yet, because you can drop merch or whatever, apparel, whatever, but like something real special, bro.
Yeah, it's a moment. It's a moment, bro.
It's gotta be a moment. Like that's my favorite part about dropping anything. Like I sometimes feel weird about just dropping a song, and like not too much behind it as far as promotion, because I like to create like sometimes like when I drop Leave It All Behind, that was like one that I would see people out somewhere and they'd be like, "Yo, bro, you're dropping something, aren't you?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I thought that was cool, so I just kept doing it. And I like making these moments special.
Dude, that's it. That is something to enjoy about it, bro. One of the beautiful things of following your dreams is enjoying them moments, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like it's such a beautiful thing.
I just got back a sample when I got home, and to be honest, it's a size medium. I'm more like a size small, but I like my shirts to fit a little bigger on me sometimes. And I think it's like overly stretched or something. It's a medium, but most mediums fit me okay. So I don't know if it's just not that I'm not the right size, or maybe I need to wash it or something. But I might have to try to get another company.
Here, actually, I could hook you up real quick.
Yeah?
Actually, I have merchandise on the way too. Pretty soon. I'm not gonna show it on camera, but I'll show you so you can get the reaction on camera.
For sure.
I put some thought into it, and but there's this website that I go through called Threadsy. You can get like pre-shrunk cotton and everything, and I believe it's like
Oh, yeah?
and like there's a notepad, like there's a little notepad in the background behind me with the pictures, and then the phrase bottom would be like yeah. I feel like there's still a lot of things that I have to work on with the merch, but it'll be out before Christmas. That's all I'm gonna say. And if you want now, you can get the Gothwood blunts on my website, $12 for 3, or it's 15 or 18 for 5. If you want to check that real quick, it's been 20 minutes.
I just wanted to check to make sure the camera didn't die. Who is that?
It's Gothwood's alter ego. Here, I gotta do it like I was doing. People at the culture jam, they walk up to me and I'd be like,
"What? Don't talk to me."
No, I can't talk.
I can't talk.
It's my alter ego.
This is
Real
funny.
quiet, sits in the corner, but still jumps around in parties behind the host.
Behind the host, yeah, bro. Why don't we put on certain clothes that you feeling different?
Yeah.
Like when I feel like Michael Jackson sometimes.
Hell yeah, bro.
With the shades on.
It's like, yes, sir.
That's another crazy thing for me personally this year. I've been focusing on getting my performance. Cause like, I don't know, I just like I was saying with dropping music, I just want the shit to be special, bro.
Yeah, dude, it has to be like I know you like that story that I posted under my last management. I told the dude's vice president,
Yeah.
I was like, this shit's bigger than you and me, because he kept telling me, when you gonna drop soon, drop soon. I was like, bro, like, you don't understand, like, there has to be a moment, bro. Like, I feel like I got the perfect example of that, by the way. 127 BPM. I recorded it, the single verse, And Wishes was eating his food at the time, so I was like, fuck it. And I made the beat too. So that it was like, I wasn't intending to be on the beat, but he's like, lay down a chorus on it. And I was like, okay. And then he started eating food, so I was like, I'm gonna lay a verse on it. And I ended up using my own beat anyway, and I was like, I'm dropping this tonight, bro. Like, I'm dropping this tonight.
It's the moment.
It's the moment, bro.
You had some other special moments this year, bro?
Something I can't talk about on camera. No, for real though. I don't know, bro. There's been a lot, bro. I went to LA this year. I went to LA from August 27th to 29th. It was a 3-day trip. Me, Joey Perks, and Lucid Knight. We went, we got footage that'll be on the way here pretty soon. There's a lot of footage to go to, like a lot of footage, and it was a nice little trip. Speaking of fruits and flowers again, I actually was able to fly with my fruits and flowers lighter, and it got left in LA. And here's how it got left in LA. Me, Joey, and Lucid were at a taco truck outside of our hotel, and you could smoke a lot out there. And this is my first time saying on camera, but I smoke weed, and we rolled up a lot, like big fat blunts, right? So we were just smoking and chiefing as we're ordering tacos, yeah. Right? And this lady walks up and she's like, "Can I see your lighter?" She's got a square in her mouth. She lights the cigarette and she's like, "Here's for payment." Flashes us, and they're like these little like frogs on like on a tadpole looking titties. Like, it wasn't even worth losing the lighter, but fruits and flowers in LA, like that's the only thing I could really get out of it. Like, like it was crazy, bro. Like, we went to Hollywood. We hit up a couple bars out there, a couple stores. I got some merchandise out there. Shout out B Mike Rob letting me perform on Venice Beach 3 hours before I had to leave LA.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
The show got on the flight, right?
Yeah, dude. Ironically, it was before Magicians had publicly dropped, and that's the only clean song I had on my phone.
Yeah.
So if you don't know that, I don't know if a lot of people recognize my songs have been getting more clean the more that I drop. I've been trying not to like curse a lot. I know I be cursing like crazy sometimes, especially like when I'm in a really, really good mood. I'll be like, "F this," you know, like let's go, you know, full send it, you know. And but yeah, that was the only clean song I had, and performed Magicians out there, and just went in there and did it, man. You know, we still got footage on the way of that too. Like I said, shout out B Mike Rob for helping me out with that, and you know, letting me take the opportunity to perform with everybody and perform at such a, you know, well-known spot, bro. Like, that's Venice Beach, bro. Like Venice Beach, bro. You know, like, it's crazy. And yeah, it was something, bro. Like, there are times where we had, cause out there you can like, I don't know, like up in the city, I don't spend a lot of time up in the city, but like if there's like the motorized scooters, I know like they got the electric bikes and stuff. You can like put, you know, like scan and shit in Chicago and shit. But like we had these scooters, bro, and you could just like drive around town in like traffic and stuff with the scooters, bro. And they're like electric scooters, and you pay by the mile. Yeah. So it'd be like $4 a mile, bro. Like it wouldn't be like overly expensive, but definitely a little bit more than gas. And dude, we just go crazy. We were just going all over Los Angeles, bro. Like it was wild, man.
That sounds wild.
It was wild, bro. I mean, there's that. I don't know if it was a magical moment, but I blew up my last vehicle since the last time. I was on my buddy's. Oh, dude, it's crazy. I think I told you I was on my way to my buddy's wedding, and if y'all don't know, I post stuff on, like, if you're a fan of me, you know I post car stuff on my story frequently. I love cars, bro. I love stanced cars, like all the way to the fucking ground, but not like cambered out like this. You know, I'm not a fucking degenerate. But like I like just that little, you know, that little flush, you know, like imagine a V12, like 1980s Mercedes Benz, like you know, like it has the boxier body, like big long blacked out with like slight camber and like deep dish like chrome wheels, bro. Like that's some real boss shit, bro. Like I don't care about a Ferrari or a freaking Lambo. Like I want them old school like foreign cars, like them old school boxy like 70s, 80s, and 90s, like Japanese and European cars, like slammed to the ground, especially the luxury ones, bro. Like the Benzes, the older BMWs, dude. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I like Rolls Royces too. I'll have a Rolls Royce one day, but those older cars, bro, like I ain't really a fan of American muscle that much. I like diesels, you know, like that's cool,
Yeah, sure.
you know, because the turbo. But like, I'm not really a fan of American muscle that much. I feel like, especially with the rise of like Hellcat and like Dodge, like Charger culture, basically, is become its own thing, and it kind of like the people who are in that community kind of like almost discerned it away from like or like pushed me away from like the muscle car community. Like I just feel like like there's so many people who go to like car meets and stuff, and they're like, I did all these mods to my car, and it's like the meet's more or less focused on like performance cars and not like show cars, you know, like you can put LEDs on your shit, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna judge you for your build, bro, but like 90% of the time the people who want to go to car meets have, you know, performance based cars, and they're willing to tear shit up, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of car meets where you find real car people, you know. But that's what pushed me away from the muscle car community. But I love cars. I blew up my last one. It was a Subaru Forester, dude. I love that Forester. I could have saved it, but I freaked out in the moment and got it scrapped. So I could, like, believe it or not, them little Subarus, bro, did you know you could put one of those engines in like an hour?
I had no idea, bro.
Dude, they're so, like, I could put my whole arm at the bottom of the engine, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you know how easy it is to work on something like that? The vehicle I had before then, it's like I couldn't even stick my fingers in some spots where I needed to get like a screwdriver or like a socket, bro. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, slowed down on doing shows recently. That was something I definitely needed a break from. I feel like I was disconnecting from myself, and I know he mentioned it too over text. We did a show in Beecher that ended up flopping like the last one. It rained out again. Luckily, we had a tent, so it was okay. And everyone I know from the locals in the Beecher show, everyone was kind of fucking with everyone's vibe. It was nice, though. It was something, you know, something small, and it still ended up being a good night. But he mentioned, he's like, how come you keep hiding behind your hood, bro?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, bro. Like, I let the stress get to me, and this is before I started ascending a lot more. And, like, there's just a lot of things you gotta wake up to. You know, like you said, you've been working on your performances a lot more recently, and that's something I need to do, like, really bad. Like, I feel like with the type of music I make, it's supposed to be, like, jump up, like, get, like, into it, you know, like you know, like, in there, you know, bro. But I feel like I really showed that a little bit better at the Culture Jam show. I was at the open mic. There's footage, I believe I got footage on my Google Drive of that I'll be posting at some point. Definitely got pictures of there. Shout out Cons World, shout out Thoughtbreaker. Definitely shout out the host here. Yes sir. Yes sir. This man had wild, man. Like I said, he pulled up with a bottle of champagne. Remember, that's the key word. That's the key word. He pulled up with a bottle of champagne. He's like, I got some champagne for us, bro. I'm thinking like the little bottles, right? No, a full bottle of champagne. And he's like, hey, bro, let's keep going. Like,
hey, I told you that I was gonna respect what you wanted, bro, because I know you're not trying to drink like that, bro.
Yeah, bro. See, that's how you know you got real ones around you. They're not afraid to hold back, and they know your boundaries, and they know, like, all right, I'm trying to see this person win. Like, if he told me doesn't want to drink, and we were hanging out a lot more and like doing shows a lot more frequently together, I wouldn't ever ask him, hey, do you want to drink, bro? Like, you know, like if you're like, I'm quitting alcohol.
Yeah.
Because for me personally, I am quitting alcohol indefinitely, bro. I hate that shit now. But it was a good night, you know, despite the headache in the morning. But nah, bro, like, you know, yeah, pay attention to who's in your circle, bro, for real. Like, it doesn't have to be the most, you know, frequent talking person, but, you know, like, the real ones always show. You feel me?
You always feel the energy when you link up with certain people.
Yeah,
you just know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I always feel the energy with this dude. Man, always smiling, bro.
Even at the beach show too, bro. We bounced up.
Oh my god, dude, should I even talk about that, bro? So I don't drink wine, bro, but after the show I was like, hey, you guys want to drink some wine, bro? Like, let's go get some wine, bro. And it was me and him and Wishes, and we kept getting some wine, bro. And then ironically, like, oh dude, what was it? Drake, You're the Best started playing
In there?
yeah,
Right,
dude, that's when the
definitely
night
there.
started, bro. And then they started playing all these like super like lit songs, and it's like, oh, we definitely got hammered that night, bro. It was that was another beautiful part of the night.
I had fun with y'all.
Hell yeah.
That's why it's like that was my favorite part, to be honest.
Mine too, yeah.
Yeah.
But
what was I gonna say?
you fried, bro.
No, you know what? I was gonna say is about when you had the Cabernet, bro, in the morning and you posted it in your story.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, fuck, what did I do?
Dude, I remember that. He's like, I feel so bad. I'm a bad influence. I was like, nah, bro, I'm bored, bro. Like deadass. So like, I be out in Beecher frequently, bro. Like, I ain't trying to speak on my location because I don't live out there, but it's just somewhere I be out there. You know, it's my little spot. You know, I be well connected out there, so it's just that's where I'm at. But there's this little bar where we did that show at called the Sitting Bull. And I was out there for something. I was like, you know, I'm gonna just go in there, hit my next steak, and freaking, you know, have a couple of drinks. It's not gonna be anything crazy. I started off with a seltzer, and I had the bartender dump it. I was like, this shit's gross, bro. Like, and then I had a glass of Cabernet, bro. And I was like, I don't like how this tastes either. And I posted it on my story, and he's like, oh no, what did I do? I'm such a bad influence, bro. Like, damn, it was definitely a night though, bro.
What kind of wine do y'all like? My wine preference: Pinot Grigio or Prosecco.
Okay.
White wines.
Oh, white wines, I like. White wines are nice, bro. I feel like white wine or like a dark whiskey with like a cigar at night in the summertime, you know, like you just hear the freaking leaves rustling. Like if it's in the country, you know, it's like kind of like when the corn's just, you know, it's tall enough to where the leaves brush up against each other, you know, and like that type of energy, bro, with like a nice little cigar, bro. Like,
That's a moment.
bro, I be smoking the Macanudos, bro. You ever had a Macanudo cigar?
I never tried no cigars, bro. I've tried a cigar, bro, but I don't remember what it was.
Bro, you and me, we're gonna smoke a cigar together sometime, bro.
For
For real, bro.
I'm
With some
with it.
whiskey, bro. Cause, like, I mean, that's like a moment, so it's okay to drink in the moment. And, you know, there's certain things. I feel like we could do even a podcast in that moment, bro.
Fuck it, bro. We'll do a podcast.
Yeah, bro. Do a podcast in that moment, fucking wine or whiskey, and fucking some cigars, and just talk about real shit, you know, like boss shit, you know. That's another thing I wanted you guys to pay attention to. Look at our fits, bro, since the last episode. We both got on like simple but clean as hell fits right now. Like I got the Thought Breaker mask on. I don't know what brand this coat is. Thank you, Mom. It's a Christmas present, but I got this blue polo. It's like that silk material. Like it doesn't have to be expensive, guys. When you get stuff, when you want to actually like present yourself in a more like professional manner, like you just have to know how to put things together. Like look at some of your influencers, that the people that you look up to the most in like the music community or the clothing community, or just in general. Look how they dress and kind of form your own way of going about that. You know, part of being, you know, someone successful, you have to be able to present yourself, because, you know, you're approaching, you know, new brands, new business owners, new artists, new fashion designers, and you want to be able to show off, hey, I'm taking this seriously. You know, I take this very seriously. You know, like look at the fit he's got on. It's simple. He's got khakis on. He's got the white T-shirt, the gold chain. Like that's all it really needs. You know what I'm saying? Like hit it with some Air Force Ones and like a khaki. You know, like the Wrangler jean jackets, bro.
Sure, bro.
The khaki, bro. Shit, bro, that's cool right there. You know, like it ain't have to be like super crazy. But like that's a big misconception that we get put into, is spending a lot of money on things that don't matter the most. You know, like my phone, for example, right? I got this iPhone SE or whatever. It's like the newest one. I don't really care too much. I go through Android phones like crazy, and I only tend to pay like $100 per phone. But with my rising followers and more attraction to my reels, I have to get a better camera. And this phone has the newest iPhone camera on it, so it's like, okay, well, what's the cheapest iPhone I can get with the best camera on it? You know, like you can. It's all about the operator. I think I said that before he did the introduction. It's all about the operator. It's not about the equipment necessarily. You ain't gotta have the top of the top shit, because at the end of the day, you gotta be able to know what you're doing with that smaller stuff before you can work with that bigger stuff.
Yeah, bro, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stuff I feel like we should really dive into now is the right direction that the people our age are failing to see as an option. You feel me? Like with like the business side, with like the clothings you wear, you know, like certain things like that. Like all that stuff you should be taking into your you know your young adult life. You know, especially young men specifically. And I don't mean to be sexist, but young men make up a lot of the business world, especially in today's culture and today's age. Like a lot of more I guess you could say liberal belief-sided people will say that it's toxic masculinity, and a lot more of more conservative people will say, oh, it's just downright being an asshole. You know, they kind of agree within the same thing. I'm not really like too specific on it, and I don't want it to be political either. But young men are very important for a structural society, you know, especially ones that could present themselves, especially ones that can carry themselves and carry their business, ones that could be financially stable, ones that are actually putting in work that's not just your regular 9 to 5. Like, for example, as an artist, you have to be able to not only sell merchandise, you have to be able to find out how to get paid for your shows, charge for features. You have to be sure that you're getting 100% of your royalties. Like, all these things are considered a business. It's your passion, but everything you do has to be a business, especially in a capitalist country. And capitalism, as we all know, I mean, it's the longest standing societal construct, if you will call it that, that's pushed society as far as it's been. If you go with other countries, it ends up in dictatorship, or it ends up in government collapse. I mean, look at it. I mean, socialism, communism, Marxism, all these forms of, you know, basically the opposite of what a capitalist country is. And like I said, I'm not trying to be political. This is just solely, you know, educating, you know, like this is for real. You know, you can look these things up afterwards. Like I said, I'm not for sure with the terms that I'm using on top, like when explaining things and giving them a certain like energy, if that makes sense. Like, but I know that a lot of people our age are struggling with these feet. We're struggling to see these things, and they keep getting sucked into the rat race, keep getting sucked into the debt. Like, you see how they keep saying, oh, we're gonna clear student loan debt, and they didn't. They're like, oh, we got to postpone it more. Well, there's kids that are younger than me in 28J that are already like $80,000, $100,000 deep in debt, and they're not even in their late 20s yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a sign of poor what's the word I'm looking for? Like a lack of the right education. There's not enough financial literacy that's taught in this world. There's not enough law that's taught in this world. Like, you need to know these things. People need to be all financially set for an economy to boom. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in the inflation situation where we're spending more money than the actual worth of the dollar. You know, we're making more money, which decreases that value. It's like songs, like, say for the artists listening, right? I'll explain the dollar situation. It's like having all these songs that you know you're never gonna release. Those songs, it's like Juice WRLD songs. People, like, I just seen the other day, someone paid like $1,000 for one song that never got released. It was a leak. $1,000 for one song. You'd be surprised how many artists actually do this with their unreleased music. You know, it's like, you have to look at that. So those songs, they have high value because no one has them. Let's say now, this song has 200 billion streams. Everybody has it downloaded on their phone. Where's the value in it? Where's you know, what makes it so special now if everybody has it? What makes it so special now that there's so many copies of it? There's not just one individual copy. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening with the US dollar. when you spend money that's not there and you spend all this stuff that you can't compensate for when you're not financially literate. You have politicians that go into office in both parties that spend money that we don't have because they're not financially literate. They think they know law. They do know law, but they're not financially set. They look for everybody else. They borrow, they borrow, they borrow. They get insider trading. It always leads to the same corruption. It's because we've been a poorly taught society. You know, it's like these are the things that you should be looking into. All right, how can I manage my funds a little bit better? Like, start organizing yourself. Like, what are my monthly expenses and how much money am I making a month? Can I make more money? How can I make more money? Like, all these different things you have to take in accommodation, because sooner or later, the US dollar is going to be zero. And once that happens, the same thing that's happening to the UK right now, where they're on a verge of a total government collapse, like a total economic collapse, because the value of the pound is not there anymore. It means nothing. They printed so much of it, there is no value to that. Same thing's happening here. So you can look at situations like the 2008 recession, and all right, we'll look at how many people started businesses during that recession and made out with billions when everything stabilized itself out. You see what I'm saying? So like, you gotta pay attention to these things. Listen to Senate hearings, watch the spending. There's all sorts of stuff that you should be focusing on, especially as a young entrepreneur, a young artist, a young fashion designer, a young business owner, someone who's willing and wanting to strive in society, you know, more than you freaking 9-to-5 Joe over here that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work really hard today and I'm gonna try to get that management position. Good for you, Joe. But some people want to own that business that you're working at. Some people want to be your employer and not the employee. Some people are made and some people are put in this world to uphold to those positions. Some people are put in this world to be those leaders, you know. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are thinking you have this feeling inside that there's something better. There's something better. The entrepreneur in you, the artist in you, there's always something better. If you see that in you, then this is what you need to be looking up. These are the things you need to be. All these things that I just explained, use all of that as key points. Google it. Do your research. Like, I can't explain everything on camera, but do your research. Help yourself. Educate yourself. We're in an information age, so everything is free. Like, all this information, like books, YouTube videos, college, bro. People who go to college end up being the employee and not the employer. Think about it.
I really felt that, like, that's what my folks are teaching me, bro, in college, bro. It was most stress, like, when you're going to get a job or when you work for somebody else. Like, that always what it felt like. They're just setting you up to work for somebody.
Exactly. That's all it is. They're setting you up to get in that endless loop where it's like you get so caught up in debt to where you have to work in order to live.
Yeah.
You're in survival mode all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's a horrible way to live in, you know? So, I mean, shit, if you're an artist, push merchandise, do what you have to do, like, cut out your daily pleasures. Like, honest to God, one thing I recommend, especially for people our age, is cut out video games, bro.
Oh my God.
Like, video games are a fucking no. That will drain your dopamine so quick. Like, honest to God, and especially for the young men, stop beating your fucking meat, bro. Like, that shit is a no-go. Alright, as someone who practices the ancient arts, I can assure you the level of ascension that I've reached and my ability to explain all these things to you guys is because I practice those ancient arts. And it's not just one thing that I practice either. It's a whole lifestyle. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of being mental. I've only explained a portion of it. But for those who know, those who know. So that's another thing you need to cut out. So video games and beating your dick. And stop chasing pussy too. That's the same thing. Your brain is the only thing that delegates the difference between these two. And it's only because you know what the difference is. Your body, however, can't tell the difference between the two. So you gotta cut that shit out and focus on your dreams. You gotta focus on your goals. Now is the most important time to do that. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too that I want to say to cut out, if you smoke cigarettes or smoke nicotine, I know I have a blunt problem, but I can hold my weight. I can hold my weight sometimes, but these are the things that you can't let slow down. But the average person and the person who doesn't use, like who doesn't smoke as much as I do. I smoke a lot. I can't really say how much I smoke on camera, but it will drain the focus out of someone who's not used to smoking a lot, and someone who just doesn't smoke at all, smokes a whole blunt to the face. They're gonna be out of focus for like 3 or 4 days because their brain's coming down from the nicotine high. The brain's not used to that. It's like having a caffeine crash. You drink too much caffeine and you crash. You feel all tired and shit. That's how it is. Balance out your caffeine intake. Watch your food. Like young men, you need to build your testosterone so you can build your focus. This is a very crucial part in being a successful man in society, being a successful person in society, is upping your testosterone to up your focus, to up your stamina, up your strength. Start working out more, eating the right foods, supplements, doing all these different things. Like what I recommend, and I started recently, and oh my god, does it boost your drive? I posted it on my story. Yeah, I got some Yes sir. CMOS is their shit. I got put onto that recently, and I was like, there ain't no way, bro. I started taking that shit every day, bro. I posted on my Snap story this morning. I was like, iron for the oxygen to the brain, CMOS for the drive, and a can of Monster to amp the alertness, bro. Like you just gotta be all in with it, bro. Like I don't recommend drinking Monsters all the time either. I've had a very tiring weekend, so it's okay to have things like that on occasion, but you shouldn't consecutively.
Hell no.
Moderation, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, moderation, bro. You can get into them shits quick.
Yeah, bro.
Shit.
It's fucked up.
The crash is the worst part.
Oh.
Did anyone know one?
Yeah. Bro, I'd be drinking coffee after that. I drink coffee for days, bro, but I can't drink a Monster back to back every day, bro.
All those things slow you down, though, for sure, bro. Video games, beating your dick, chasing pussy, all those things slow you down.
They do slow you down. Yeah, but everything's a process. You can't always go cold turkey on everything.
Yeah, man.
So that's where I'm at. But those are some of the things that I want to tell you about. Is there some things you want to add into that?
What? I don't know, bro. Sometimes I be thinking shit, bro, but I don't necessarily like say it. like you go every day and you be saying shit on your story and whatnot, bro. And sometimes I be having these thoughts to myself, and I be like, you know what? Maybe I should go on Instagram and say that. But then by the time that I pull out Instagram and everything, I'm like, nah. And I just keep going about my day.
Hey, bro, but you know what? I used to be like that too, bro. I used to be afraid to be in front of the camera, and this was like recently, and I just like, I don't know, bro. Like it is what it is. It comes into the equation. You have to have that it is what it is mentality, and that goes back to my like initial like topic when starting, is like overthinking. Like you have to think about the worst of the worst stuff, not necessarily the worst of the worst depending on who you are, but think about the bad things before you think about the good things so you can prepare yourself. Being in that mindset, you have to be, it is what it is, and that helps you train to get better at that mindset. So when you're actually put in those situations and you couldn't predict them, or you couldn't avoid being in those situations,
sure.
You know how to handle them better. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'd be like I said, I be always thinking about shit, bro. Like when I move around, like where I'm walking, bro, I'm always thinking about stuff. And some people will argue is paranoia, and I do struggle with paranoia. Actually, I can't say struggle. I don't struggle with it at all, but I deal with it from time to time, and it's always been a controllable thing for me. It's a part of that. It's a part of my PTSD, and when I get paranoid, like it's almost like a blessing because I automatically do think about those things, and I can tell myself, all right, well, I need to prepare myself for this, and then when I'm done, like I'm just like, I feel kind of crappy now. It feels more clear to find the image of what I want to see, and the image of like what I feel is like right in my heart and right in my mind and right in agreed. It's like you find that light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a solution to every problem. Like you can look at it that way too, but like it always helps. It always helps to think of those bad situations. Prepare yourself.
I would say one thing that you should do, bro, is fucking meditate. I hadn't meditated in a long time, bro. And then recently, I was watching your story, and I was like, you know what? I do need to meditate. And fucking the other day, I just kept thinking this one thing that I didn't want to be thinking about, bro. And it was bothering me all fucking day, bro. And I was like, you know what? I'm finally gonna meditate, bro. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you had to sit down and think it out. Meditating helps too sometimes. But I do recommend is like in the summertime, or even if you're like in like more like western states where it's nice and warm, like or like coast states, I guess you could say, like freaking like Texas, Arizona, or like freaking like California. Like go on trails and stuff and just sit and like listen to nature. Like I said, when we talk about whiskey and freaking cigars, you know, like listen to the leaves brush across, you know, like let it go. You know, if something's bothering you that much, think about why you're thinking about it. Once you found out why you're thinking about it, okay, well, the part that's upsetting you, how can I fix this, and is it in my control? Like, is it something that I can actually take action on? Can I control this situation? If you can't control the situation or can't change the outcome on your own, and you've already done all that you can do, all you can do is wait. Like, that's the only option. There is no, I have control over this, I'm gonna say this, or I'm gonna do this to change this. If you can't change something, don't worry about it. It's out of your hands. All you can do is manifest. Like I said, think about the worst thing and then think about the best thing. Prepare yourself for both outcomes so you know how to react and you know how to upkeep yourself and keep yourself to that right-minded energy at all times. Especially, like I'm really speaking to the people our age, bro. Like that's where I really want to emphasize. I'm speaking to the people in their early 20s and like late teens. Like we're the next generation of people, and the way that our previous generation. Look at the way that things are turning out politically, spiritually, everything, bro. Like, people are arrogant nowadays. And now we have this new wave of people that are coming with actual love and actual appreciation for everybody. You know, it's like you actually have an understanding of what spiritual growth is, and it's not all based around societal constructs and things that people came up with that don't work, and it's just reiterated, or like we have to look back to the things that have been working for humans for thousands of years. Meditate, manifestation, those are the things that help you grow as young adults, as people in this world.
Putting yourself in the frequency to receive those things that you're trying to manifest.
Exactly, yeah, the blessings, the universe, God, it's the same being. Like, manifest, talk to God, talk to yourself. You have to be able to sit down. Like, for someone who doesn't manifest, I would highly recommend meditating before you start trying to manifest things, because like you said you had one thing that you couldn't stop thinking about and it was bothering him. Learning to control your thought processes is another big thing too, is like and that can also help in trying to prepare yourself for situations, is controlling your thoughts, controlling the way you get emotional about certain things. You can't let your mind control you. You know, your mind is separate from your spirit, from your energy. Your heart is separate from your spirit and your energy. Like, that's what's you. You know, this is just your physical embodiment. So you have to be able to control these things before you can ascend to those levels. You know what I'm saying? And find those frequencies and manifest those things into existence. Like, I know for a fact that next year, me and him combined easily like 5 to 6 billion like streams, bro. Alright, maybe not billion, bro, but like damn near like 100 million, like 90 to 100 million for sure, like summer of next year, bro.
It's crazy to think what can happen in a year, bro.
It's crazy to think what happened in the last 6 months, bro. Like that's what's crazy to me since the last podcast. Like, it's definitely been an evolution since then, bro.
I really don't be worried about nothing, bro. I think for me, I just enjoy the journey, bro. All of it.
Oh yeah, man. Enjoy.
But also, like, we all have our problems, bro. But like how we just said, balancing and being able to get back to the frequency, to accept the things and like I had this moment, bro, where it's just a beautiful day, bro, and I was thinking about the position I'm in and where I was a few years ago, and I damn near started crying and shit, bro, and I was like, in this moment, and knowing that my family's good, and like how everybody in my life that I care about also feels the same way towards me and shit. I was like, in this moment, bro, if I were to die, it's okay. But then I was thinking, okay, once I've accepted that, I don't even need anything. And then, like, at that moment, it just kind of felt like everything that I do want is already gonna happen. But it's like, I don't know, bro. I felt like I was on a different. I felt like I was here, but I wasn't here, bro. Like, I was really just like, nothing matters, bro. I went outside here and I was just outside chilling, bro. Sitting down in a chair, and I was just like, wow, like this whole experience so far, and like everything accomplished so far, like the rest of it is just to enjoy, bro. And even in the ups and downs, bro, the down moments, I still make them beautiful, bro.
You still smile.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
So that's how you know you fully ascended. Like I tell you guys these things, and I tell you about all the process of what it gets to take to these things, because I want to see all of you guys succeed. I want to see every person watching this to succeed spiritually, financially, mentally, like every bit of your life. I want to see you succeed. And in order to do that, you have to be able to know where we're at. We're at such a high level because we've already experienced everything that I just talked about. Everything. We've already went through it, like dealing with the bad situations, preparing ourselves. Like we're at that point to where it's like you just accept the blessings and appreciate the life around you. It's a beautiful thing. Like there's nothing to really be upset about, even when life tries to hit you. Like you got this magic like shield in front of you almost. It's like you just smile through things.
I don't know if you ever read this book called The Secret, bro, but one thing that I remember about it is that most of your thoughts, no matter what, you want to keep positive thoughts, because that's what you're manifesting, is positive thoughts, bro. Like even if you wanted to say something, just the way that you say it, instead of saying any negative words, say it the most positive way that you can, bro. Just attract more. Don't allow negativity around you, bro.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this stream is this podcast is definitely gonna be a good example of that. Just constant smiling and everything, bro. Like that's what it's really about. Is just positive, bro. Like once you find that balance, you just smile about everything, man. Because of
I think we should wrap it up, bro.
Yeah, you can follow me on all platforms, GXTHWXXD. I'll repeat it again, GXTHWXXD. I'm Gothwood. Go listen to my new song, 127 BPM, out everywhere.
It's meant to be out everywhere too, bro?
Yeah, meant to be out everywhere.
Out there.
Yes, sir. Meant to be the magicians.
This is 28 Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Yeah.
28 Angels, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Alright,
sir.
bro.